This is the same horse in the same session, actually. We just built on what we had done in the last video where she was following and touching and kicking the ball on the ground. She is an Icelandic mare. I think she's 16 years old. She's an experienced horse, but she's very easily tense. So she will tolerate a lot of things, but she's not really feeling relaxed inside. And this builds up to when the horse finally explodes, when she has enough. But until then, it's the kind of horse where you see they suddenly explode and you think that it's out of nothing, but it's not out of nothing because she stands still and she carries all these tensions and nervousness inside. So in this session, my plan was to help her gain confidence about scary things by actually showing her that she has some level of control of situations. So right now, she's just standing there and tolerating this. She's not confident about it. She's kind of stiff. You can see that her jaw is kind of clenched shut. She's not looking at me. She's not looking at the ball, which a curious horse will definitely do. She's kind of just standing there and waiting for it to pass. And it's not a good thing to have in a horse because they carry this inside, they build up tension, and then they suddenly explode. So it's better to replace that behavior with a behavior where she is actually getting more interactive when something is scary, because that way you can read the horse easier. So there, I just presented her with the ball. I stood there. I've been standing there waiting for her to do something, take contact with it or whatever. So as soon as she looked at it, I just took it away, showing her that she is actually able to have control over what happens here. And again, I'm doing this at liberty because I want to be sure that the horse is not staying here with me because I have a rope on her. I want to be able to see very clearly when it's too much for her. So here, when I approach with the ball and she looks at it, takes contact with it, I take it away again. And this will hopefully create a pattern in her that when she sees something that she's nervous about, she knows that, hey, I can maybe influence this. I can maybe control this situation somehow. When you look at the horse's body language here, resting foot, it's not actually a resting foot. This is it's kind of an expression of her wanting to hide. She's kind of pulling her leg towards herself, and it's a defensive stance rather than a relaxed stance. It can be challenging to tell the difference, but in this case, this is not a horse that is resting. It's kind of a tail between your legs kind of position. So I keep repeating, just present her with the ball, and as soon as she takes contact with it or does something, looks at it or puts her nose on it or whatever, then I take it away again. And I'm going to advance a little bit by bringing it closer to her body, rolling it towards her. And I want her to, every time that I approach with it, that the best way to deal with that is to engage in it. And when she backs away like that, I just slowly follow her. And as soon as she stops, I take it away again to show her that the best way to deal with these situations is to engage with it. So she's backing away. If this would scare her way more than it did, then I would retreat again and I would approach even slower than this. But it seems that she was able to handle this. And as soon as she stops, then I take it away and I reward her. I want her response pattern to be that she can be interactive with this, that she can get curious about it, that she can take contact with it, that she can even push it away if she wants to. Anything except escaping. But that is, of course, totally dependent on me doing this in a way that she doesn't feel like she needs to escape to get relief. I am trying to show her that the best way to get relief and to feel confident and to feel relaxed is to engage with me and the scary thing. You never want to flood your horse with something scary and then wait for them to just give up. That's not the way to go. This is an interactive process where you look for the horse's boundaries and you don't flood them, but you approach their boundaries and you help them figure out what to do when they feel nervous about something. You see her skin twitching a bit and she's a little bit nervous, but she tolerates it. With repetition, she will see that, oh, okay, this is not too bad actually. I think I can handle this. So the key is to be sensitive to how you approach the horse, to approach boundaries but not overwhelm them, and to gradually progress and to repeat. Horses find relaxation in routines and repetition. They love predictability. They get very frustrated when things are unpredictable, which they very commonly is in the human world. They are scared and they are nervous and anxious because they don't know what will happen next. So by repetition and being predictable, they will learn to trust us and the pattern, and they will feel familiar and they will relax easier. And I'm constantly keeping contact with her to avoid her hiding within herself and kind of just closing herself down and tolerating the way that she typically does. And this is very common for many horses. So making sure that she's moving her head, she's changing her focus, is a very important thing for these kind of horses. So I hope you found this useful. And if you decide to try this with your own horse, I would love to hear from you how it went.